just in case there may be somebody visiting today. Or you might have just caught us on YouTube or Facebook and you may be streaming for the second or first time. And maybe for some reason you may not have this Jesus pride that we're talking about.
Today we'll be diving into a topic that's bound to ruffle feathers and spark some serious thought. That is the meaning of the rainbow, the identity of Jesus, and what it really means to follow the First Commandment. So let's start with a quick recap. The rainbow, according to Genesis 9, is not just a pretty sight after a storm. It's a sign, it's a covenant between God and all the living creatures, a promise that the earth will never again be destroyed by a global flood. This is foundational to biblical narrative and has been a symbol of hope and a divine mercy for millennia. But here's where things get controversial. In recent years, the rainbow has been adopted as a symbol for the LGBT pride, sparking outrage among some churches and some Christian groups who see this as a hijacking of a sacred sign. They call the pride rainbow an abomination, a distortion of God's original promise. Some churches, in an attempt to reclaim the rainbow or show inclusivity, have started putting Jesus' pride on rainbow flags, suggesting that Jesus is the God who made the promise in Genesis 9. But is this actually a bigger problem than the original issue? Well, I'm going to break this down. So in Genesis 9, the rainbow is a sign of a covenant that God made with Noah and all of creation. It was a promise to never destroy the earth by flood again. In Exodus 20:3, the first commandment is clear. You shall have no other gods before me. In other words, God demands exclusive worship and loyalty. So is Jesus God? Well, by equating Jesus with the God who made the promise of the rainbow, some argue this is a violation of the First Commandment. It places Jesus in the position of the Most High, which according to strict monotheism is the ultimate abomination. So imagine a country's flag being used by a rival nation to celebrate their own victories. The original meaning is lost and the symbol becomes a battleground. I mean, picture a company's logo being used by a competitor to advertise a completely different product. The confusion and outrage will be massive. Now, think about a church condemning the pride rainbow as an abomination while simultaneously placing Jesus' pride on the symbol as if Jesus is the God in Genesis 9. I mean, this is like calling out someone for copyright infringement while committing a bigger violation yourself. The rainbow was never meant to be a symbol of pride, but a sign of God's mercy and a reminder of his covenant with all life on earth. The first commandment is the foundation of biblical faith. You shall have no other gods before me. Violating this is seen as the greatest spiritual crime in the Bible. Some religious leaders have called the use of rainbow for pride, spitting and laughing in God's face. Yet by claiming Jesus is the God of Genesis 9, some churches may be committing an even greater offense, putting another God before the one who gave the commandment. So while churches may criticize the pride flag as an abomination, they might be committing an even more serious abomination by putting Jesus' pride on the flag as equating Jesus with the God of Genesis 9. It's a classic case of pointing out the speck in someone else's eye while ignoring the log in your own. If you're going to call out one group for misusing a sacred symbol, make sure that you're not guilty of something even worse. The First Commandment isn't just a suggestion, it's the backbone of biblical faith. Mixing up the identities of God and Jesus, especially in the context of the rainbow, could be the greatest abomination of all. Hey, can you let me know what you think in the comments? Is this a fair critique? Are churches missing the point? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this eye-opening. Well, until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, and never stop. Thank you.